Hello and welcome. It's Music Monday here on Devon Live Chat and across various different platforms, also on YouTube as well. And if I said to you that we've got the wild man of folk, you might be thinking, who? Hello, Steve.
Hi,
where did you get this name, the wild man of folk? Tell me all about this.
I think it was my bass player in Dan Buskers, Mick Pledge, who started saying the wild man of folk, and it's sort of because I'm a bit mad when I'm on stage. I think when with the Dan Buskers, I am anyway, and it caught on from there, and then when we're like introduced the band at the end of the night before we did the last song and all that, I'm always the wild man of folk. So it stuck.
I love that. I love that. The fact that you know that is quite the norm, old school. Tell everybody who is who. A lot of the younger bands, when I play with them, and I'm like presenting and I'm the DJ, and then I said, "Well, who's who? Are you you're not going to go round and tell everybody who you are?" I always think it's nice actually for people to be mentioned. You know, like this is the person who's playing drums. This is the person doing that. And I presume you've been doing that for years, like that.
Well, I like people to know each other, you know, and I always feel like when we're playing, I've always felt the same as what I ever have done, you know, like sitting around the campfire playing guitar, having a bit of fun, and I always like to bring that. So it doesn't matter how many people you're playing to. You know, it's always that feeling of inclusion. So to introduce yourselves, which we do sort of during the gig anyway, because we're always talking amongst ourselves, but to the people. So it just makes sense just to reaffirm that near the end of the night and everything. And it's a good feeling, I think, when it's all finished.
Now you've mentioned people, you mentioned the band. How much of your work is solo and how much is actually with that band?
Oh, now you're asking, really, aren't you? I think it's been the Dan Buskers mostly for many years since I've been in Devon, really. And although we've always all done our own thing as well, I think it's kept the band alive. You know, I told you earlier on, Tony Finney, you interviewed on here. We've had a band called the Wild Hatters for a while. He's gone on and done other stuff now, and I think I've gone back to doing more solo stuff because of the lockdown and all that. When it started finding a way of being able to perform where you're not taking up too much room and you have to have the social distancing and all that sort of thing. So I've been doing sort of wild sort of stuff that I do with the Dan Buskers, really, but on my own or with my wife Trish. She comes along, plays whistle and bit of percussion, lots of lovely backing vocals and everything to bring it up, so we can do them between us, you know. It gives it a little bit more presence than me doing it completely on my own.
Somebody's saying hello, Steve, but they haven't actually said their name and who they are.
I wonder who that is.
I don't know, but it's a nice little hand in the air going, "Hello, Steve."
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. So lockdown, how has that changed life with you as a solo and as you as a band?
Well, we haven't been able to get together as a band for a long time now. We done one gig a little while. When did we do that? That would have been Appledore Social Club. We got together and the night. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I'll tell you what it was. It was at the Big Sheep. You might have heard the Big Sheep done a sort of a festival. So people would book a bubble. So that was back when it was warmer weather, and it was run by the Big Sheep and the Palladium Club, and they put that on, and that was the first and last gig for a long time because of everything that's been going on. We've been all the gigs I've been looking at on the calendar, been just cancelling them as they've been coming on, as they've been coming up. Oh, we're not going to do that one. We're not going to do that one. We're not going to do that one. And we did manage to do. I'd managed to do a couple of gigs with Trish. It's as me as the Wild Man of Folk, but Trish has been playing with me as well. So I'm thinking, oh, that's gonna work. That's something that can keep us going, you know.
So being the Wild Man, I suppose then Trish then becomes the soft, nice person.
She is a very, very nice soft person. She can be a bit crazy herself, but she has got. She does do some nice songs, which I play for her normally, because we go out as what we call ourselves Prismic Weave. It's much more mellow sort of setup, but that's like a different act. If you know what I mean, it's still just us two, but it's like a different act. But I had been sort of thinking of bringing a few of her songs and stuff into it because of the lockdown and people not being able to dance, they were more likely to want to listen. So if they're sitting at their tables all separated and all that, I thought, well, it'd be nice to bring a few more like softer songs into the equation. It might be an ideal opportunity for that, you know. So I've written a couple of songs for her as well. So,
oh, that's good.
Yeah, for her to sing. But,
now, just to go back on, like, hello, Steve, and then it came up and said it's your niece, Sonia.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, and then we've got had a bit of difficulty in finding you, Martin, according to Andy Lister. So, good evening to Andy. That's nice.
Yeah, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Steve, from Ed and Cherie.
Ed and Cherie. Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got? The Bug Sheep sessions was brilliant. I think they might mean big.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all know how that happens. Yeah, the Big Sheep sessions.
Yeah. I must admit, actually, that Ben from the Palladium Club and Rick, they did a very, very good job actually to, you know, bring live music back to North Devon.
Wonderful. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we went there, got there early to do the sound check for the Big Sheep, and walked across the field together, the Dambuskers, and could smell the cut grass, and then to the beer tent and everything. And I thought, wow, this feels like doing a proper festival again, you know. So, and yeah, absolutely felt a little bit liberating just for a little while in the doom and the gloom of the COVID situation, you know. It was absolutely wonderful. So yeah, they've done a great job, and they put quite a few of them on as well. Quite a few different types of music. I think they put on really for different sorts of tastes. You know.
Well, I think if you're looking at one genre, then you've only got a certain type of audience to attract. But if you put on various different types of genres, therefore you're going to trawl in a lot more people to actually say, hang on a minute, live music is still good. It's still happening in North Devon. And then hopefully it will get better and better as the vaccine comes in. And that'll be quite good. Now, let's move away from that for a moment. Let's just turn the clock back to when you first started in the music industry. Okay, how old was you when you picked up your first instrument and went, I can do this?
It's a bit wobbly. I think I wanted to be a musician. I think when I first heard the Beatles, and they was in the charts with "I Want to Hold Your Hand" and all that sort of stuff. Didn't have a guitar, but my brother he bought in the first guitar into the house because he got one of these magazines where you get you tear a little bit off on it, and got this little parlor guitar very cheaply, and obviously that was his pride and joy. So I used to get hold of that whenever I could, whenever he let me. So I was very much the baby of the family, and much younger. And it'd say like, go up the shop and get some fags for me, and I'd say, get out of it, I'm playing with my soldiers. And he'd say, well, it's a pity that is, because I was thinking of go and get fags. He was only 13 himself. I was thinking of letting you play my guitar. So shoot up the shop. No questions asked, make his cigarettes, and he'd sit me down with his guitar and I could play it. And I think that was the first guitar. We had piano. We had a piano in our house. I didn't really get too much onto that. My dad played the piano in pubs. My sister played the piano, and my other older brother played the piano. So that was sort of getting into me. I don't know whether I got around to actually being able to perform the guitar for many, many years. But
so really, your whole family is like musically based, then, isn't it?
I all love to make music. Yeah, I don't think my mum did so much, but my dad was. You know, if we go out to one evening, we'd go out to the pub once in a while, and he'd sit us down in the children's room, and he'd go and get some beers, and then he wouldn't come back. And he was sat at the piano because he started playing the piano, and he'd have beers lined up along the top of the piano, and he'd be sitting there playing the piano all night. Which
clever man.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd say, I'm sorry about that, but I'm sure he wasn't. I'm sure he enjoyed himself playing the piano.
Do you know if the musical talents in the family go further back, maybe to your grandparents as well?
Not my grandparents, but I think I have got some members of the family. I've got some old black and white photos going back when. Of some of them on the stage, treading the board, so to speak. A great auntie, yeah. So
message has just come in here from Kathy Edwards, I do believe. I remember Steve and Tasmin singing together for the first time. Didn't think the two genres would work well together, but they were fantastic.
Yeah, it's just Thames in Ball and the Wild Man of Folk. Yes, that would have been quite a while back now. I think we done a version that we put together for two voices and acoustic guitar of Phantom of the Opera, which we done. So. Of course, I was Beauty and she was the Beast. But it was fun. No, it was really good fun to do. It was great. It was a great laugh, and I got talked into doing it because we was going to do. There was a few other songs that we was going to practice for this, and and she said, "Oh, I'd like to have a go. At Phantom of the Opera." I thought, "Oh no." Well, I give it a go, and it wasn't too bad. Wasn't going too bad, but then I realised that the Phantom of the Opera actually changes key several times, so that made it really difficult to learn it. And we put all the bits and pieces in as we saw how it should work, you know. It was good fun. I think I could still just about do that if I went over it a few times. We could put it together again, I think.
So where was the struggle? Was it the low notes, the middle, or the high sets of those?
It was playing the guitar. It was everywhere, everything really. Such an arrangement, you know, rather than like them sort of songs do. They won't, the operatic songs. They won't just go, "Oh, that's the verse, that's the chorus." They have to go and change key, don't they, and go off on this bit, and so much in it that was fun to do. And I do like doing songs that have a bit more arrangement to them as well. They're good fun to do, and they're fun to listen to once you've heard them a few times, you know. You know.
Now we sort of step back towards the past. When you were growing up, what type of music was influencing you during your early years before actually starting to play music yourself?
Oh, I liked rock and roll. When I first left school, I was well into rock and roll, and then more progressive rock. Rock and roll as a genre was before my time really, but I got into the motorbikes and all that sort of thing, and that was sort of part of the scene. And then it was like, I think I like bands like Free, and then there was Dave Edmunds' Rock Pile, and I like that. And then I think I went on to Hendrix, obviously, and then back to the Beatles, much later stuff before they split up. You know, when they went their psychedelic period. Really loved that, and still do. I mean, I haven't been playing so much in a professional capacity for that long, really. I think it is a long time now, but I mean, I think I wasted my youth messing about doing other things, really.
I don't think anybody can waste their youth, because it then becomes the indelible imprint for you doing other things later on, because I'm sure that somewhere in writing music or performing music, you will have that flashback moment for inspiration.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the people that knew me for the motorbikes and all that didn't realise that I played guitar so much, because guitars don't travel very well on the back of motorbikes. So I've done lots of runs here and there around the country, and but I wouldn't like to take my pride and joy on my back and ride my pride and joy at the same time, because it was a bit uncomfortable actually.
It could have been worse. It could have been a big double bass, or it could have been a drum.
Yeah. I'll think
or even a piano. You imagine having a piano strapped to your back.
Yeah, I should stick to harmonicas, really, you know.
Now, as we've been touching on the music that may have influenced you, what is the main sort of genre that you have found as inspirational to what you're doing now?
Oh, I think like folk rock really. Sort of, I like to do sort of lively sort of folk rock stuff. I think, and with the band we got the fiddle player and everything like that. So it's very very dancey stuff, you know. So you could have a good time and come out, have a drink, and they wake up in the morning with a sore throat as well from singing too much along with the music. You know, that's the idea. And they got a sore throat and an hangover the next day. But yeah, I think I like the Pogues. You know, I like their sort of thing. The Levelers. The Water Boys like the Water Boys as well. So they're another good band like that.
Nothing like the Whole of the Moon.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Fisherman's Blues. You know, yeah, good. Yeah, lots of big fiddle breaks and stuff like that. You know, I do like so much other sorts of music as well, but I think that's the stuff that I tend to play. You know.
Okay, here's a couple of questions for you, and I like throwing these questions out before you even know what it's going to be. Where is the furthest away show that you've ever done, and what's been the biggest place that you've ever played at?
Oh, right. Furthest away could be the one up Scotland that we played. God, what's the name of the place now? Much further up than Edinburgh, anyway. And that was a wedding that Dan Buskers was asked to go up and do, and that was a good one. And then on the way back, we went to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and busked in the street. We thought we've got to go there while the Fringe Festival's on. So we just stopped off there and busked in the street. Played by myself over in Ireland, over near Kerry. We've been playing in some pubs over there. That wasn't an actual gig. Yeah, I think Beautiful Days was the one. I think that we played on the legendary bandstand stage at Beautiful Days. So that was great. That was really good.
Now, when people travel quite a long way and you're in a vehicle and there's a whole load of you, quite often some very funny things happen. Remember, we are broadcasting, so be careful what you say. What is the most memorable and craziest thing that you've ever got up to with you and the members of the band when traveling around?
Our Chloe, who used to be our fiddle player, and she was always into warming up her voice before we got to where we was going, and so she'd start this all sorts of things. So we'd all just do it together because it was good fun. It was a laugh, and so we was all joining in, and so there's three of us in the front seat now, and we pulled up at the traffic lights. The windows are open. It's a nice day, and these people pulled up in an open car next to us, and we're all like out of the window. And it was you'd have to sit in the faces of the other people in the car next to us because
That's a nice little thing that they could probably put that into some sort of film in a comedy sort of break or something.
We look like we've possessed, I should think.
Okay, right, Steve. How many instruments? I see a few behind you. How many instruments do you own?
Oh, I've got 3 electric guitars. I don't play electric guitars very much, but they are a bit novel to have a go at now and then. I found that I am quite an acoustic guitar player, really. That's where I am. I've got 3 acoustic guitars. Bass guitar. Bags full of harmonicas.
So what is that instrument where the top hat's sitting on the top?
That is a bouzouki. It's broken at the moment. That's why it's got all the feathers in it and the hat on top of it, because I broke one of the machine heads, so I haven't been able to get on and play that for a while. So it's yeah.
Is it an easy thing to get repaired, or is?
Yeah, I would get it repaired. In fact, I'll have to send off and get the machine head myself and do it. But I was just going to get James Millman, a local guitar man, to just do it, because I won't get around to doing it. That's the trouble. I'll probably end up just buying a new.
Well, James might be watching, so James might sort of come on and say, "Yeah, okay, I'll do it for you."
Yeah, you might do. Yeah. He keeps saying he would do. I'll have to just drop it along there and say, "Do that," because otherwise I keep making arrangements to take it along there, because he's always busy in the shop and got bits and bits. But he has done little jobs on the guitars for me, just there and then in the shop. He's the man to go and see. He's a good guitar repairer, good builder, builds guitars.
Now, how long is your set? How many songs are in your repertoire?
Oh, could go on and on and on and on. Really, I think
I've got all night.
Oh dear. Well, there's. I try and keep some of my own songs in the sets when we do them, and then I try and do some stuff that people might know anyway, if they've not heard Steve Ruffe's songs. So like the good old Whiskey in the Jar and the Irish Rover. I do tend to like some of them Irish songs. I had Irish people both sides of me when I was a kid, living both sides of me, and that was diddly all night. That was. It was when they come back from the pub, that was crazy. Irish Rover, Wild Rover. So, but I do try and keep stuff like Spirit of Wily Fox in there. Another song called Breathe the Vibes, Drink Down the Moon. There's songs that are always in my set. I always keep them in there, like sort of. There's so many. I mean, even we do a version of a Black Eyed Peas song, because we figured because of the feel of the song is about going out and having a good time. So we thought we'd stick that in and make a sort of a Celt version of it. which is really good fun to do, really. You know, so you got instead of the usual way of doing it, it's got the fiddle in there and a bit of harmonica and stuff like that, just to make it that we've definitely Dan Busterized it, you know. So you know, I've got a feeling.
Yeah.
So we do that one. God, there's so many. It's like I feel the same now as when someone says, "Play something, Steve," and I go, "I don't know what to play." Because so many songs that I can't think what to play. So
I'll take my hat off to you. You've got that many songs. How you remember all the lyrics is beyond me. But
let alone the names of them is the worst thing. Trying to we'll do that one that goes. What's the name of it? What's the name of it? There's so many songs. Yeah. So
do you go to open mic sessions as well?
Yeah. As I say, like the I like to do the acoustic sessions, which I run a couple when everything's normal. I'll end up running a couple here and there, so everybody can come along and join in and have a play. And it's just, I mean, that's one of the things I miss more than anything during the lockdown, and not and when this is all the restrictions. It's just being able to take the guitar out, go to the pub, meet up with some other musicians and anybody else that's there, and just sit there, have a play. I suppose it's basically an old-fashioned bit of pub entertainment, as it would have been, really. The acoustic sessions I prefer, I think, because they're a bit more spontaneous. We're all sitting there together and having a play, and we sort of take turns in leading something, but anybody else can join in. The open mics, I do enjoy them as well, because you never know. Again, you don't know who's going to actually turn up. You know, some of the ones we used to have at the Beaver on a Sunday night. You know, there could be any of the local bands turn up because they're not playing anything Sunday. You know, they've done their weekend gigs, the Friday nights and the Saturday nights, and now they want to go out and have a drink and enjoy everybody else. I think that's a nice thing about being around North Devon, is that musicians do like to just like to play. And you know, when I first moved to North Devon, I was in a pub and I started playing a song, and someone said, "Is that your own song?" I said, "Yeah." "Do you fancy doing a gig?" I said, "Well, I thought you was already in a band." And I said, "Well, I could be in another band." No one. If they like what you do, everybody wants to play, you know.
Yeah.
You can. You're allowed to say that as a musician. You're allowed to say, "Do you want to come out to play?" Yeah.
You said about acoustic sessions that you've run yourself. You mentioned the Beaver. I don't know if that is one of the venues, and if that's the case, Graham's a great landlord as well.
That's one. Yeah. I didn't say where it was, but yeah, in Appledore. Yeah.
I presume it is at Graham's pub, the Beaver.
Yeah.
And where else?
Well, there's we got the Beaver. We got coming this way now along. And there's the Champ, which has a lot of live music, and also has some different open mics and also acoustic sessions in there as well. There's another folk acoustic session that goes on in there on a Tuesday night, I think. The blues night is on a Wednesday night. That's with Jim Crawford. Then moving along, then you've got the Royal, and I do a session in there on a Monday night. There's also one in there on a Wednesday night, run by Richard Mayfair, another local musician, and there's one in there on a Sunday dinner time as well, which Tony Finney runs. So we all go to each other's thing anyway. But most of these are on hold at the moment, and the Appledore Social Club has taken up the gauntlet and is, because it's bigger, and so we've managed to put, with all the restrictions, Basbix managed to put on an open mic night on in there on the Sunday, with all the restrictions and all the spacings between the band, and it's an actual bring your own mic night, because you've got to have your own mic, so it's all clean and all that, and he's done really well with that. And then I've been doing one in there on a Monday night instead of at the Royal. I think we all want to get back to the other pubs, part of us, but I think also the Appledore Social Club, I think, will benefit from it, because some of these things is going to stay there. But now, that's for sure, I should think. But I think we all still want to get back to the other pubs, and the pubs and the clubs around Appledore all help each other out anyway. It's all the big picture, you know. It's all like, let's make Appledore a place, you know, rather than, oh, this is my pub, this is your pub. They're all very much help each other out very much there.
Now, for anybody who's watching, and there are some people I know who watch religiously in Wales, Scotland, America, Canada, South Africa, the size of Appledore, right, from the far end pub right the way back along to the social club, we're talking probably what, half a mile max?
Yeah, about half a mile, I suppose. Yeah.
And how many venues did you just mention? Loads. What a place.
Yeah, some of them have unfortunately gone over the years, which is a shame, as that pubs have it everywhere, you know, and all this situation now is a bit worrying for that, because the venues, you know, they're great places, and
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that actually the people who run these pubs that can survive, and that's the main thing, because, you know, they've been standing by the musicians, and musicians have been standing by them. The clientele's been going and standing by them, but sooner or later, if it carries on for too long, the money will run out. This is where the council could probably go, you don't have to pay rates for 6 months or whatever. They
something
need to
like
do something.
that,
Or the places at a pub co, you know, maybe that company could say, we'll waive, you know, the cost of your rent for a certain amount of time, because at the end of the day, if they're not there, where do you and other people like you and me work?
Yeah, that's right. Where do we go? You know, I could just
see you on the third lamppost down on the front of
well, that's it. I'll be back just busking, you know. We'll have to set up a little gazebo on the street or something, you know, and just do it there. Put an armchair out there for people to sit in. You know.
Yeah, really. And what I want to see something happen, you know, to help out the people running these venues, which in turn helps the likes of yourself and myself out as well. Tell me about this. What's this all about? The spirit of Willie Fox. Who's the lady with you?
Willie Fox. It's Wiley Fox. Yeah, this is here. I can see here now. This was one that me and Trish done during the last lockdown. We was doing a few concerts from home for different people and that, and this is for a friend in Kent who was it was a birthday, I think it was. This is Christy, and so we dedicated this song, Wally Fox, to her, and we done a few little. We set up a stage so we could do it, so we could give people the feeling of actually being at a gig. Was the idea while the big lockdown was on, hopefully cheer some people up. We've done a few little slots out the front of the house as well at the time, but this was in the conservatory at the back.
Yeah, I'm just checking here. That T-shirt you're wearing there, is the same as the one you've got there.
Only one I've got. I haven't got any other clothes.
Maybe we could get a collection together to get you at least another T-shirt or a pair of gloves or something. Right, you better introduce this, and then we'll play that, and then we'll talk some more in a moment.
All right. So this is called Spirit of Wily Fox. It's about the life and times of a dog fox, and it's also about its spirit in nature. The rest of it play for itself.
Well, I can see it, though I can't hear it. But,
I am the Wily Fox, and I tell to you my story.
There's nothing like having technical problems, really.
But also full of glory.
Can you hear it?
I remember as a young cub, emerging from the dead, and I'm still in awe of all the wonders I discovered then. And as I grew up, I wandered on my land of the love. All the sounds and smells beneath my feet and in the sky above. And many times I slipped the hounds, they were no match for me. I sat and watched as they rolled by. I lost them easily. And I've lived a full and glorious life, and I want you all to see. And I'm happy in the room of life, wherever I can run, while I'm free. And one day as I played the hounds, I met my beautiful mate. We had several cubs that season, and though it was quite late, and that was the first of many seasons that we come to share. So happy in the hood of life, we didn't have a care. At night we roamed the village square, the pickings there was good. We hunt rabbits in the meadow, and then play in the woods. And many times I slipped the hounds, they were no match for me. I sat and watched as they rolled by. I lost them easily. And I've lived a full and glorious life, and I want you all to see that I'm happy in the wheel of life, wherever I can run while I'm free. And a bullet sealed her fate. It was days before she died. There was nothing we could understand, and nowhere we could hide. And that was many moons ago, and now she is the earth, gone back to where she came from, before her very birth. And now when I hear the hounds, they sense I'm getting slow. And if the hunting's getting so hard, to the hunters I will go. And I'll go on duel with the hounds, their blood and death and glory. And if they catch me this time, then they will end my story. I sat and watched as they rolled by. I loved them easily. And I've lived a full and glorious life, and I want you all to see that I'm happy in the hood of life, where I can run while I'm free. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I've actually listened to it. I can't get nothing coming through my system in here, but I was actually listening to it on another line. Of course, there's a little slight delay, and I think, oh my goodness! And then it started buffering. I don't know if you're having the same problem actually in Bideford.
A couple of times it did, yeah. A couple of times it buffered, yeah.
But places like around here, they're working on the internet. They're trying to put in new fiber cables and things. And I know in the middle of Barnstable, they've been losing their internet on a regular basis, especially at night time, and also in Braunton as well. Maybe if you haven't had it in Bideford yet, it's probably a thing which is going to be happening soon.
Have we got that to look forward to then?
You never know. You probably have. So let's before we sort of wrap this up, because it's been absolute fun learning all about you and talking with you.
Thank you.
And, I always ask this question, and it's quite an interesting question, and I'll give you a few moments actually before I put you full screen to come up with an answer. If you could sit down around a table and have a chat, okay?
Yeah.
Have a chat about anything whatsoever, who would it be, dead or alive? Anybody from the past, they might not be with us anymore, or it might be somebody who's current, still around now. Who would you want to sit round and have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee with? Evidently, it's the stuff with the internet, according to Stuart, it's been happening here in Ilfracombe as well. So, right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You can have 1, 2, 3, or 4 people. It's entirely up to you.
Ooh.
Steve's throwing a party. He's going to invite some people. He wants to ask them questions about their life. Who would you invite round to your table?
Oh, it's difficult. I'll probably get incredibly starstruck. But I think going back a long way, I think Billie Holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an amazing singer, and also stood up for human rights as well, and was very brave, I think. Yeah, definitely be one. When she done a song called "Strange Fruit," which was obviously about her own black brothers being hung from the tree. This is a strange fruit. Yeah.
And what would be the burning question you would put to that person?
I don't know. I'll just chat maybe. I don't know. The burning question. It's mainly what she done, really. I'm very impressed with someone that puts it all on the line and had the guts to do it. against such aggression, to be able to get up and sing that Strange Fruit, when obviously she was enjoyed her music, enjoyed singing, and she sung with with some great musicians that were with her. But it was accepted that that for white people at that particular time could listen to black people singing. But when she started, then she sang, like she said, "Oh, here's a song for you," and stood up and sung Strange Fruit in front of which could have been a bunch of KKK people. She had some guts to do that, and she'd done it. I'd like to ask her how she felt, or whether she was tempted not to do it.
It's not that difficult a question. You actually just came up with the real reason of why you wanted that person to be sitting around your table. Who else would you invite, Steve?
Right. Tom Petty. He's what a dude, Tom Petty, and such a sort of down to earth sort of person as well. And yet he put on he joined in with the Travelling Wilburys. So besides having Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and all the bloody brilliant songs that he wrote with Bob Dylan, George Harrison. Amazing. Roy Orbison, that's it. Who else have I missed out? Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, George Harrison. Is that it? Yeah, 4 of them. Yeah, sorry.
I don't know. I thought there's somebody from ELO in the amongst there as well. But
yes, I knew there was. Yeah.
Maybe he's been learning to fly, because that was a great track as well.
Yeah. They're all really. I mean, they're great. Is stuff to put on in the van when I'm going anywhere. Great road music, brilliant stuff, and such moving sort of music as well. It's not there's sort of love songs in there and stuff like that, but not your usual sort of angle. That's what I like about his songs, lyric wise. Obviously they're great rock songs.
I think there's too many pieces of music around, isn't there, where he broke her heart, she broke his heart, and that's the end of it.
For me, see, them sort of songs are a bit sort of actually about yourself, aren't they? They're a bit self-centered, really, aren't they? Because it's whether you break their heart, or I love you, it's always me. The trees aren't gonna talk anymore because you've gone, and there's not a song called that at all, actually, is it? But you know what I mean.
I think that's the underlying thing for country music, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas I do love songs that have got a different angle, and if they are going to be a love song, have a slightly different angle and a story. And I like protest songs as well. And I like songs, that's why I write things like Spirit of Wily Fox, and write about something a little bit different angle of life, something that's not about something that's not about me. I don't really write songs about me. I write songs about situations and stuff like that. I try to keep away from being too deeply political in my songs, but more like on the protests and saying this is how it is, rather than this is what we should do.
So we've got 2 at your table. Who would be the third?
I think. Can I have the whole of the Levelers?
You can have the whole lot in if you want.
Yeah. I like that. They're influential band. They wrote some great songs. and they wrote them all together, which I'd like to ask them about their process of writing songs, because I can write songs on my own. I find it a bit difficult writing songs with other people sometimes. Although obviously being in the band, they all put their bit into it, but I sort of write the main song. So if you can imagine writing a song and you sing it and play it, which what I've done with Wiley Fox there, that's it sort of in black and white. And then you add the band to it, and suddenly you've got this big colour thing, and that's what I think it does. But I think I'd like to ask something like the Levellers, because obviously they all put so much into it. The influence of them all is in the song, the way where the fiddle comes in, and how it's put in there. The fiddle break might be completely different, you know.
But the thing is that they're still now, aren't they? You know,
they are still now. Well, I thought I'd better put something in that is now. I've been living in the past.
So, what is in the future for you as a solo, as a duo, and as part of a band as well? What is in the future for you? Before you answer that, how did you come up with the name Dam Buskers? Because I think that's a great name.
It's a great name, isn't it? Yeah, well, we was running as the band for quite a while. We come up with some different names. We was trying to think of something that would really say what we are. So you heard the name of the band, without even hearing any of the music. You think you'd have a bit of an impression of the feel of what we are. And I think I was watching the film, the old black and white film, The Dam Busters, and I thought that's a great sounding name. And so then I just put that together and changed the last bit into, because we've all done busking. And so and some people that didn't want us busking would say we was the Dam Buskers. So we
long as you haven't got any bouncy balls, you know, those bombs.
Well, when we do a wedding once in a while, you always get Granny would say, "Oh, you're doing lovely. That's great. What are you called?" And I say, "Well, we're the Dam Buskers." Oh, they bombed the dams, didn't they? No, it's a play on words. It's the Dam Buskers. Yeah, the Arsley bomb. I thought, yeah, that do. The Dam Busters. We ought to have put the flying hats on, you know. But it's got that. But it has pinched that feeling of power and that from the actual sound of what it sounds like as well, so that's a good thing for the name of the band as well, you know.
I suppose the next time somebody says something like that, you just tell her you don't mind. We've left our Lancaster in the car park.
Yeah, we got here on a Lancaster tonight.
Oh dear. Anyway, final thoughts. What's in the future for you guys? What are you hoping for?
We have got a gig in December, if all goes well, at the Appledore Social Club, because we do tend to do a Christmas gig like every year. So that, I think it's the 23rd, or is it the 17th? But hopefully all the lockdown's done by that time. So it's either the 17th or the 23rd, everybody. And
turn up on both of them.
Yeah, but there will be gigs. Will be gigs again. So get out there as soon as you can and support the pubs and go and have a pint. Just go out and have a pint even, and bring the life back again as soon as we get the chance. Don't let them go. Yeah. Me and Trish have got a gig there also in January. So don't ask me what date it is, but it's about halfway through January.
Yeah. I can help you out.
I've got it all on the calendar. I've been so used to cancelling them all off. Suddenly there's a light. Might be a light at the end of the tunnel. Perhaps this is a good thing. Perhaps this has made me think, oh, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, the date that you and Trish is going to be there ends up with 2021.
Yeah.
That's it. Done.
Yeah. Yeah. 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, have a safe journey between now and your next show and the show after that. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. And I hope you and everybody you know has a safe and happy Christmas.
Yeah.
This is Devon Live Chat.